Showing you guys how to get inside of this thing and open it. The most common problem with this toy was that this gear had popped off because somebody decided to pull this handle off. You see that little indentation right there? I know this isn't a very popular toy, but people probably don't know how to open it without getting it open.
Dad, you don't even know what it is.
So over here, where that piece goes in, all you have to do is put this back and I guess never pull it off again. Or throw some glue on there, but that's what that is right there, how to get in here. But this was the main reason it wouldn't pop open, because you have to lock onto that piece and turn it counterclockwise, and that's the piece that will stop you from popping this thing open. And it was right on, let me show you where it was, the other side of my thumb right here. No, this side, right where my thumb's at, but I'm gonna lift this up to show you guys. Yeah, I had to take this piece off right here. So that's how that goes. When that goes on there, that piece was right there on that little tiny hole. That is right there. Once you unscrew that counterclockwise, you can then unscrew the 3 screws and just use a flathead screwdriver to pop that open. So once you're inside here, a lot of these are old and rusted, and if you got rust over here, this goes for any kind of old toy from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, and before. If they got wet or the batteries exploded, you won't get no contact. So you're gonna wanna scrape all this away so you can get contact again on your positive and negative. That's about it. That's the most common problem. That's why I made the video, and it was very difficult to open without breaking. So hopefully this video helps you out. And I'm just gonna go over everything so you guys can see what's going on. Maybe even you need the battery, which way the batteries go. Look at that, they go in the same direction. That's something to think about. But yeah, if you're not getting contact, scrape the heck out of this. It does take a plug, and that's about it. Everything is wired up. If you're getting no power at all, it could be a bad motor inside of here, so you have to change this motor over here. That's a little bit more difficult to do because you have to pop these little rivet pins off, but it is possible, not too difficult. Make sure you get the same speed motor that's inside of here, and you could probably find that on eBay. Cut wires is something, no power, lifting levers, everything. So just showing you guys what's inside of that sucker. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. That thing popped off. I realized that that gear went in place first. This little piece right here was popped off. We found it over here in the corner. And I just did some common sense because I've messed with a lot of old toys. And I know that this hooked in there like that, and then you snap this piece back on. And that'll solve our problem right there for the piece that was broken. I don't even know what the heck the thing does. I just knew it was off. Pop that piece back in just so you guys could see how it goes. I don't even know how that thing got popped off because of the pressure pushing from this back wall right here. Should have never let it pop off unless somebody tried to open this. I've seen a lot of markings right here. Previously, somebody tried to open it, and probably they weren't even able to get it open, but they popped the darn thing off because this piece right here held it in place, and I see that they were trying to get in there. And if they would have got in, they probably would have fixed it, unless they just didn't know how to proceed with that section. Anyways, so we're gonna put that back together, and so far so good. Make sure I didn't miss anything here, so you guys could look at what the heck is going on here. Got a spring here for this lever. Don't even know what that does, but anyways, that's how it's supposed to be. Got another spring right here. That's in there. All right, we're ready to put this thing back in. You get your on and off switch. We know it does work because after I cleaned the cables or cleaned these little prongs right here, we heard it run. I'll show you guys where you should be before you put this back together. This is a very tricky part in how the needle sits. So if yours is not sitting like that, that's why you're not getting it. This has to be really low right there. The needle has to be centered. And this prong right here, you see that? That has to be in place right here, that little notch. Also this this lever right here, and this can only go one way right there, meaning the plastic piece, because this part is skinnier and that part is fatter. So that's got to be in place right there. Got my gears in place. Make sure yours all looks like this, and when you turn the gear, everything turns with it. If your motor's working, you'll be able to put this in right correctly. This piece is supposed to set like that. And it does come with this piece right here. And I'll show you guys after, hopefully, on where that goes. Piece back in, I just turned it in clockwise. Got everything in place. This thing's in there. And this piece is now working because when we bought it, it didn't work. You can see the gears working now. And then that really doesn't do anything right there. This is where you feed your string. Put this back in place. And then you got this right here, that's for string feeding also. And then you got a lever right here that puts the foot up and down. So that's about it. Everything's back in place, and this sucker should be working. Back in, because this knob right here, hold that piece, Mila,
here?
is supposed to turn all the way around. If it doesn't, you don't have the gear sitting in place right. So what I did is hardly put that in. I'm going to be able to turn it and find out exactly where, because right now if I go turn this, see what's happening, I get stuck and it won't turn. If you turn your motor on, it's going to get jammed up and probably break or something. So the gear has to be setting right. How to find it is to turn it. Right now I'm stuck. So I pulled this arm out just to here. And it's hard to explain with one hand. And I got my kid holding that. Where I'm going to push that up, the gear, see how I pushed it up? And I'm going to turn it and find out when I can turn this whole thing all the way in a continuous circle. That means I'll have it fixed. Or in the right position. Very difficult to adjust the gear on this thing. It took us about 35 minutes. I finally got it set where I want it. And this thing now turns in a continuous circle. I set it in the middle. I kept having to move this gear, this big one, in position with this one to find where it would turn in a continuous circle. I'll pause it here for you guys so you guys can get an idea of how it should be. Hopefully this helps you out one way or another. There's no markings on this that I could find, but I did get it to spin in a continuous circle right now, and we're getting ready to put it back together. Much easier to have two people helping you put this together. Go ahead and spin that wheel and show everybody how it goes all the way around.
Where are you putting it? The player?
And then you guys could see, we actually had something in here jammed where this thing wasn't cocking back, and it wasn't allowing it. Make sure that your needle goes all the way up high enough so when you do go up, it can actually sew. That way you know you don't got that one prong thing in reverse. So that thing goes in and out. So everything looks good. We're gonna put it back together. This piece right here was getting caught, right there, that little plastic thing. So what I did is I sanded the tip right there, and now it's not getting caught on the needle because it would get stuck. Weird, I don't know why.
Dad, does this
it's old, here? So maybe, yeah, we're gonna go put that in there. So everything's working now. Go ahead and turn it on and show people that it does work. Yeah, just turn it on real quick. Alright, so this thing does work. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you fix yours. Give me a thumbs up. Our first test run, and it did stitch the piece of paper. We double-sided it, but it does work, so pretty cool.